Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching.
I wanted to make a little PSA because of some comments that I've been, or conversations I've been having in the comments today on Instagram, on a video that I posted in support of LGBTQ rights, but the comment section turned into something completely different that had to do with race and the Flash and support or lack of support that's not existed for 5 years publicly, I guess. And I want to go ahead and make a blanket statement, PSA, put it out there right now on my Instagram if it hasn't been taken in through interviews over the years. But our Iris is an African-American actress. She is black, she is beautiful, and she is our Iris. And she always is going to be. Always has been, always will be. She is Barry's Endgame, and Candace Patton plays her. And she will continue to play her. And I have her back and will have her back. I'm sorry if that hasn't been made clear, but that's the case. And it always will be. So that's it.
Well. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off and let's have a chat about this. So Grant Gustin has taken to Instagram to tell us the blatantly obvious that Candace Patton is an African-American woman, which makes Arrowverse's Iris a black woman. And apparently he wants to make it clear that he's got her back, that he's always had her back. Now, I assumed at first, and I was talking about this on my Instagram, which is BigMouth234, if you want to give me a follow, that people maybe had been racist and things like that. But all of a sudden, it looks very, very different. It sounds like that maybe people have accused Grant of not being supportive of Candace. So this is very, very interesting, and we have to talk about this. Now, we live in such a moral outrage culture, and so he's had to come on Instagram and make this clear. So let me make something clear. People's issues with Iris are nothing to do with her race. They're not. There may have been a few people who weren't very happy that the fact that Iris is white in the comics and an African American in the TV series, but the truth of the matter is she is a very good actress. She is beautiful. She is good at what she does. She's a great Iris. No question about that. The issues are nothing to do with Candy. They are to do with the way she's written, with Greg Berlanti's political agenda, extreme left agenda. I've said this before. The extreme left are as dangerous as the extreme right. We all know that. We all know this, right? But Hollywood has decided to get very political. The first 2 seasons of The Flash and Arrow were beautiful, with little or no political commentary in them. But since that time, they have got insane. They have developed female characters who literally hate men. We were all excited we were going to get a Batwoman TV show, but in the back of our minds, we knew what it really meant. A show that every 5 minutes would put down men. This is what this show is. Now, basically, Arrowverse has become this mediocre, boring. It's lost its fun. You know, the first 4 seasons of this franchise were beautiful. They were fun. They were excited. It was like it jumped from the comic books. There didn't seem to be any difference, and that's because Jeff Johns had a lot to do with that. Say what you want about Jeff Johns, but he's a great storyteller. He understands the comic books. But since then, we've become very, very political. We've become obsessed with false diversity. I remember the Thinker becoming woman after woman after woman, and we know why that is, because of their passive aggression political status. So the Thinker was a great character. The Thinker's a man played by a great actor, and then they watered him down by turning him into a woman 2 or 3 times. They are obsessed, and they've ruined their shows because of this. I had to stop watching these shows. It happened with Legends of Tomorrow. I couldn't watch The Flash anymore. I couldn't watch Arrow anymore. They spoiled it, right? Because they went after men in a passive-aggressive way. Now, the truth of the matter is, again, I'll reiterate, the reason people don't like Iris isn't because of the colour of her skin or the person she's played by. Do you remember when they decided that Iris would run Team Flash? A woman with no scientific education, no education on physics, which, you know, if you're going to be kind of the leader of Team Flash, you need to know these things. This is a journalist who knows nothing about leading a team, and all of a sudden, because Barry had vanished, she was leading Team Flash. Again, it was their forced diversity. They are obsessed, and they've ruined the character of Iris, a character who was amazing in the first 2 years. And then we've got Grant Gustin, who's obviously been put out there by Berlanti and company to make this statement that they support this lady who's an African American, because people obviously have been accusing them of being racist about Candy. I don't know. I personally don't have a problem with Candy. I have a problem with the character she's playing. The character she's playing isn't Iris. It's someone who's dominating this show. This show shouldn't be predominantly about Iris. It should be about the Flash. The Flash is taking a back seat, like Arrow's taking a back seat, like they got rid of Arthur Darville's character, Rip Hunter, who was an awesome character, an awesome captain in Legends of Tomorrow. It was a great show, but they decided to get rid of him, right? And look who they made the leader of the team. And by the way, Sarah's a great leader of the team. But why did they get rid of him? Did he leave because he wanted to leave? Or was he pushed out? The official statement was that he wanted to do other things. Good luck to Arthur. He's a very talented man. Him leaving is their loss, not his. But this is the thing, that they cancelled Arrow, right? And replaced the show with a female-led show, right? They're getting rid of Cisco. Apparently he wanted to leave. I don't believe that. He'll probably be replaced by a female, right? And it just goes on and on. And what about the other guy? The techie guy from Supergirl. He's gone as well and pretty much been replaced by Brainy. And we all know why that is. So we have this political agenda by Berlanti and company. He's made his shows very unwatchable. Someone said to me the other day, he's got over blah, blah, blah shows. You ain't got any shows. You're not a successful guy. The point being, it's not about who's successful. I have a right to speak out. When Hollywood decide to trigger people, to wave the red flag to the bull, then wonder why the bull is charging. There's ways to represent people. And representing people isn't putting a target on your artist's head. Basically, they put a target on Candy's head because they don't know what they're doing, because they're not very interested in diversity, because they only represent some people, not all people. They only represent the people it suits them to represent. So they've got Grant Gustin there saying, hey, we support this African-American actress. Well, we never for 1 minute didn't think you didn't support her, Grant. So I don't know what's been going on. But the point being, Iris isn't unpopular because of the colour of her skin. She's unpopular because she's took over this whole show, this thing that is about Team Flash and not the Flash. People are fed up, not interested. You know, people love these characters in the comic books. And you had an opportunity, like you did in the first 2 seasons of Arrow and the Flash, to make these awesome comic book TV shows, and you watered them down just for your political agenda. That's what's going on here. And this is why Arrowverse no longer works. Nobody's watching it. Batwoman's going to be a disaster because she's going to spend half the episodes putting down men instead of being the awesome superhero she's supposed to be.